Morning, everyone. Hey, Sunday morning, I decided to get off my duff and get this started because I know a lot of you are really excited and are anxious to get going. Now, keep in mind that what I'm going to be covering in these little lessons is the very simplest of concepts behind music. For somebody that knows how to read music already, they are going to find it very boring, maybe even irritating because it's just so simple. But you're going to be there. You're going to be there once you get the basics of this down, and it's really very simple. You're going to understand it better, and then you're going to be like, "Oh, cool." So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, gang. What you see here is a basic music staff. 5 lines, 4 spaces. Now, when it comes to using this little diagram, this little design for music, the notes are arrayed across, and I'm sure you've seen it before. The notes are either on a line or on a space. But you've often probably wondered, how can I tell what is what? Okay, because oftentimes you'll see something like this, or something like this. Okay, but you're like, well, how do I know what those notes are? Well, here's the trick. And like I said, this very first lesson is going to be just very simple. I'm not going to discuss notes or anything like that. It's just what these lines and spaces mean. Now, if there's 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, the lines consist of, and I'll use a little, I think it's called I don't know what it's called. There's some sort of fancy word for an acronym or something like that. Every good boy does fine. These equal the lines. So now if we go back up to our staff, we count up 1, 2, 3. This note right here is 1, 2, is a B. Now, what's this other one? There's 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first space is an F. The second one is an A. Third one is a C, and the last one, believe it or not, is an E. See how that does now? F-A-C. Now the top one, every good boy does fine. You can use these letters for, like every guitarist buys different something or other, whatever. However you want to be able to use this little acronym thing here to remember this is up to you. This one's the easiest, F-A-C-E. It makes up face. So now, what would this note be here? It's right here. It's an F. So now, anytime that you see, and it takes a little bit to get this into your thought processes, but once you get this memorized, and especially when you remember the little acronym or whatever it's called here, I'll have to look that up. Once you remember this, every good boy does fine, and F-A-C-E, you will be able to tell what a note is anywhere on this staff. Now, mind you, there are notes that, and if you look on musical scores, there are notes that fall below, hold on a second, below and above. Sorry, I'm having to use my cell phone for this because my plans for how I wanted to do this kind of bombed on me. But we're not going to worry about the ones above and below, just what goes on the line, on the 5 lines and the 4 spaces. Once you can remember this little analogy here, analogy, I got to look that letter up, or that letter. I got to look that up, that description up, and tell you what it is. Every good boy does fine, and F-A-C-E. Once you remember that this deal right here. Once you remember this, you will be able to tell, and eventually you will be able to tell what any note is anywhere on a musical staff. Okay? And that's it. That is as simple. That's simplicity at its finest. Anytime, this is how I learned to read music. This is how I started out when I was in the 4th grade playing cello. When I started to play cello, this is how we were taught right here. Every good boy does fine. FACE goes right on here. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. Once you've got this mastered, you're in, and then you'll be able to tell what notes are what. But for now, I'm going to stop there because, like I said, I want to keep this first video very simple. And let me switch this around so you can see me talking again. Hello, right, folks. Sorry about a little goof up I made there. I was trying to get the footage that I shot onto the desktop, and I inadvertently deleted footage off my phone to end the video. So I'm going to end that now. What I covered with the lines and the spaces, as you can see, was it's just so ridiculously easy. Every good boy does fine, and FACE. That's all there is to it. Once you can remember those two little, make that connection with those two different, like I said, I got to look up that word to describe that. Once you make that connection, you will be able to tell, and as we progress further, you will be able to tell what notes are what just by remembering what I showed you. As we go on, I'm going to describe more and more, and I'm going to try and piece things together as we go along. As the process gets more complex, I'll try and add more to it, so that way, by the time you get done, you should be able to read any kind of music whatsoever. So, for now, take care. Keep strumming, practice playing, whatever it is that gets you along. Remember, the only person that you are competing with is yourself. Don't compare yourself to other players. Don't expect to play like Eric Clapton, or the world has an Eric Clapton already. They don't need another one. What they need is you. You sound like yourself. If you want to play that other stuff, that's great. That will help you to learn. But be yourself. Take care and stay tuned. Thanks for subscribing.